Hey everybody, what's going on? Today I'm back to talk to you guys about Facebook. Alright, let's run that intro one more time. Boom. Hey, what's going on? Wait, hold on. Yeah, this is the wrong sweater. Give me a hot second. Okay, so today we're gonna. Oh wait, hold on. Let me. So close. This isn't the right one. Give me a hot second. This'll work. So today we'll be talking about Facebook. Now you guys probably remember Facebook as that app you guys used to use back in like middle school with Farmville. You probably got off of it because your mom got on Facebook. It was like, why don't you friend request me? It's just a whole thing. However, Facebook has changed a lot in the last 15 years. Yeah, Facebook's 15 years old. It's been around since about 2004. But ever since then, they've been making a lot of really sloppy mistakes. We're going to talk about three things. Advertising, data breaches, and journalism. Those are three topics that we're going to talk about. So the first one is advertising. When you're using any service or anything, you kind of think of it as a transaction. You pay some money and they provide a service. So like how you go to the store and you pay money for groceries, and in return you get to use the groceries for food. Like that's how most things work. But when you interact with Facebook, it's kind of not the same thing. Facebook offers a service and you don't really pay for it unless you want extra fish flakes or something on Farmville or Fishville or whatever. I haven't played in a long time. But it's not the same type of interaction as it is with any other company. So you kind of think that, oh, I get to use Facebook for free, when actually you're the currency. You're what Facebook uses to pay their advertisers. And in return, the corporations get your personal information. And they use your personal information to create something called targeted advertising. Targeted advertising uses your search history, uses some of your personal information and some of the information of your friends in order to determine what would you like and what you wouldn't like. So that's why if you're like on Amazon for a phone case, you'd be scrolling on Instagram or on Facebook and see that phone case pop up again in an advertisement. Now, that's really shady because a lot of the times people don't want their information just going to these corporations without their permission. I mean, but that's one thing because you kind of agree to it with the terms of services. But now it seems like Facebook is accessing people's microphones and their location in order to create advertisements directly applicable to that specific life. So it's no longer just a general thing based on what you put up on Facebook, but it's now kind of, oh, I need bananas, and then all of a sudden you see an ad for bananas. That's crazy. Now I could go further into depth on this, but there are a countless amount of articles about this invasion of privacy. Speaking of invasion and privacy, hold on. Whoa. Speaking about invasion and privacy, that brings us to our second point, which is data breaching. Not only does Facebook take your information without you asking, but they can't even hold on to it right. On September 16th, Facebook found out about a breach in their security that allowed the personal information of 50 million users to just go out the window. Now, most people are like, well, that's just personal information. That's not the same as financial information. But your personal information can leave links to your financial information. And, like we just discussed in the last point, personal information is very important when it comes to targeted advertising, which is kind of the center of all of this stuff. Also, let's not forget about the big scandal they had with Cambridge Analytica, who stole the information of another 50 million users through an online quiz. This one was even crazier because you didn't even have to take the quiz for your information to be taken. All you had to do was have a friend who took the quiz, and your information was already taken with that. And, again, through your personal information, they determined what your political affiliations were and sent you targeted advertisements that kind of polarized your viewpoints, which kind of affected the outcome of the 2016 presidential election. And finally, our last point, fake news. Now, Facebook has gotten so effective at spreading fake news that one writer said he gets about $10,000 every month just off of revenue from fake news off of Facebook. Now, how does someone make so much money off of fake news? Well, it goes back to point number one, which is targeted advertising. See, social media is designed that it wants you to stay on their website as long as possible. So whether that's curating your timeline, so like the most popular things that you might like pop up first, or it's throwing in advertisements that you might like, Facebook and other social media sites, I gotta be unbiased, are kind of making it harder for you to leave their apps. Have you ever been on YouTube and you're like looking up a clip from your favorite movie and then something else pops up in the sidebar and all of a sudden it's 3 hours later and you're covered in potato chips and you're watching compilations of pandas sneezing or something like that? Well, just like YouTube and the sidebar, which gives you things that you might want to see or related content, Facebook does that with the everlasting scroll. You can never get to the bottom of your timeline. You just keep scrolling and you keep seeing things that you want to see. And this is exactly how fake news spreads. So it starts off as these writers buy ad space on Facebook. And once they buy ad space on Facebook, they create a website based all around the story that they're about to print. Whether it's about Obama being a gay Kenyan or Hillary Clinton running a sex trafficking operation out of a pizza shop, which is actually a story that spread. So once they link their website into the ad space, people just share these stories over and over and over again. And the more shares that these stories get, the more monies that these writers get, which means the more. And these stories are really serious. At Myanmar, there's a whole slaughter of Rohingya Muslims, a minority group in Myanmar, based off of hateful rhetoric just going around on Facebook. See, Myanmar doesn't have much internet access, but they do have access to Facebook, and that's where a lot of people get their news. And the more hateful rhetoric that spreads around, the more people are likely to believe it, because that's the only thing that they're seeing. And because Facebook refuses to address their fake news issue, because why would they? They're making money off of it. People are actually either being forced out of the country or being killed, and Facebook is doing nothing about it. When Facebook first started out, their motto was move fast and break things. Now that's a good motto for a startup company who just wants to get out there and press into new technology. Sure, they're going to make some mistakes, but they'll fix those along the way. The point is, we want to get the best stuff out as soon as possible. However, that mantra of move fast and break things doesn't apply when you're a 15-year-old company and you host 2.2 billion users worldwide. This isn't like they have a higher GDP than a lot of other nations. As the 5th largest media organization, they need to do something and grow up. You're an older company now. You need to take responsibility for your actions. You can't recklessly endanger people's personal information. You can't let your security be just something that you put to the side. And you cannot allow fake news to just spread on your site, affecting people all over the world. It's time to grow up, Facebook.